Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce us from Group F. Well, in this video, we will discuss about curriculum change. Before discussing, it will be nice if I introduce my group member. The first is Messi Ratutria, MPM 19040029, as material reader and moderator. Then Vidya Hestiva Devi 19040030 as material reader 1. And the last one is Nur Islamic Khatib MPM and 18040025. As material reader, the first presentation will be explained by Vidya Hestiva Devi.
I will explain about curriculum change. All national curriculum are designed based on the same foundation, namely Pancasila and the 1945 Constitution, the differences being in the main emphasis on educational goals and approaches in realizing them. The curriculum change are of course accompanied by different educational goals, because in each of these changes there is a certain goals to be achieved to advance national education. Changes in the curriculum in Indonesian education and the objective to be achieved will be described in the following explanation. Number 1, curriculum in the early independence period or old order period. In 1947 curriculum, initially this curriculum was formed in 1947 to continue the curriculum that had been used by the Dutch because at the time it was still in the process of fighting for independence. This curriculum uses the Dutch term leerplan, where leerplan means lesson plan. According to Herman 2010, the dynamic of education in 1945 to 1950 were marked by the following. A. The first Minister of Education and Teaching, Ki Hajar Dewantara, a few months after the proclamation issues a general instruction, which calls on teachers to abandon the colonial education system and prioritize patriotism. B. The next Minister of Education and Teaching continues to strive for regular education and teaching in schools. C. The result of the work of the drafting team, which became the draft law, were submitted to the working body of the Central National Committee in 1948. D. In the midst of discussing the bill, the Second Colonial War saw the sudden attack of the city of Yogyakarta. As a result, the Republic of Indonesia was besieged from within and without, and only the island of Sumatra and a few residents on the island of Java remained. The enactment of the first education law on April 5, 1950 as outlined in Law Number 4 of 1950 concerning the basics of education and teaching in schools. The curriculum used at the time still continue the curriculum pattern during the War of Independence. It has a wider range, namely using the following patterns. A. Part A, Literature. 2. Part B, Natural and Exact Science. 3. Part C, Social and Administration.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Messi Ratutria, MPM 19040029, and now I want to explain about B 1905 to curriculum. The focus is on developing creativity, taste, intention, work, and morals, or Panchadwarna. Subjects are classified into 5 groups of study area: moral, intelligent, emotional or altruistic, skill, and physical. Basic education puts more emphasis on knowledge and practical functional activities. After 1952, by 1964, the government again perfect its education curriculum system in Indonesia. See 1964 curriculum. At the end of the era of President Sukarno, the 1964 curriculum applied what characterizes this curriculum learning is centered on the Panchadwarna program, namely moral, intelligence, emotional, physical, and mental development. The curriculum system 1964 was again updated so that learning is centered on the Panchawarna program, namely moral, intelligence, emotional, or artistic development, skill, and physical. 2. Curriculum during the New Order. A. 1968 curriculum. The 1968 curriculum is a manifestation, a change in orientation to implementation of the 1950 and 45 Constitution in a pure and consistent manner. The 1968 curriculum aims that education is emphasized on effort to form through strong and physically healthy Pancasila people and change intelligence and physical skill, moral character, and religious belief. According to Winarso, the content of the 1968 curriculum are generally said to be 1. The curriculum must reflect the spirit of the preamble to the 1945 Constitution and the contents of the 1945 Constitution. The curriculum must be the implementation of the 1945 Constitution in the field of education and through education. B. 1975 curriculum. The 1975 curriculum is a substitute for the 1968 curriculum. The 1975 curriculum emphasizes the goal so that education is more efficient and effective. The background is the influence of concepts in the field of management, namely MBO, or management by objective, which was well known at the time, said Dr. Rendes Medianto, aka MSI, Director of Kindergarten and Elementary Education at the Ministry of Natural Education. According to Ahmad, there are 5 principles in curriculum development in 1975, namely 1. Principle of program flexibility, 2. Principles of efficiency and effectiveness, 3. Goal-oriented principle, 4. Continuity principle, and then 5. Principle of lifelong education.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Islam Abad Khatib. My PM is 18040025. Okay, I'm here going to explain about the material. The 1984 curriculum carries a process skill approach, although the priority of process approach, but the goal remains an important factor. The curriculum is also often called the 1875 curriculum perfect. These differences include WINARSO 2015. 1. In terms of organization and curriculum form. 2. In terms of teaching and learning approach. 3. The item of existence of a new element of the GBHN that has not been recommended by the 1975 curriculum. 4. In the term of the gap between school graduate and employment. Maksudnya ialah kurikulum 1984 mengusung pendekatan keterampilan proses. Meski mengutamakan pendekatan proses, namun tujuan tetap menjadi fakta penting. Kurikulum ini juga sering disebut dengan kurikulum 1975 yang disempurnakan. Perbedaan tersebut antara lain dalam WINARSO 2015, satu pertama dari segi organisasi dan bentuk kurikulum, yang kedua ialah dalam hal pendekatan belajar mengajar, yang ketiga dalam hal adanya unsur baru GBHN yang belum diakomodasi dalam oleh kurikulum 1975, dan yang keempat adalah dalam hal kesenjangan antara lulusan sekolah dan pekerjaan. Di 1994 Curriculum and 1999 Curriculum Supplement. The 1994 curriculum focused more on effort to increase the previous curricula. However, the combination of goals and process has not been successful. The fall of the Suharto regime in 1998 was followed by the presence of a 1999 curriculum supplement, but the change were more in adding a number of material. This 1994 curriculum was created as a refinement of the 1984 curriculum and implement in accordance with Law Number 2 of 1989 concerning the national education system. Maksudnya ialah kurikulum 1964 dan suplemen kurikulum 1999 ialah kurikulum 1964 lebih menitik beratkan pada upaya mengintegrasikan kurikulum sebelumnya, namun kombinasi tujuan dan proses belum berhasil. Jatuhnya rezim Soeharto pada tahun 1998 diikuti dengan hadirnya suplemen kurikulum 1999, namun perubahannya lebih pada penambahan sejumlah material. Kurikulum 1964 dibuat sebagai penyempurnaan dari kurikulum 1984 dan dilaksanakannya sesuai dengan Undang-Undang Nomor 2 Tahun 1989 tentang Sistem Pendidikan Nasional. Kurikulum during the Reformation era. A. 2004 Curriculum or KBK. The 2004 2004 curriculum has another name, namely the Competency-Based Curriculum or KBK. Competence is combination of knowledge, skill, values, and attitude that are reflected in the habits of thinking and doing action. Kurikulum era reformasi. Kurikulum 2004 atau KBK. Kurikulum 2004 memiliki nama lain, yaitu kurikulum berbasis kompetensi KBK. Kompetensi merupakan perpaduan antara pengetahuan, keterampilan, nilai, dan sikap yang tercermin dalam kebiasaan berpikir dan bertindak. Winarso 2015 identified the principle in the development of KBK, namely 1. Faith, values, and noble character. 2. Strengthening national integrity. 3. The balance of ethic, logic, aesthetic, and kinesthetic. 4. Equality of opportunity. 5. The age of knowledge and information technology. 6. Development of life skill. 7. Lifelong learning. 8. Child-centered with continuous and comprehensive assessment. And 9. Holistic approach and partnership. Maksudnya ialah Winarso di tahun 2015 mengidentifikasikan prinsip-prinsip dalam pengembangan KBK, yaitu yang pertama ialah keimanan, nilai-nilai, dan akhlak mulia. Yang kedua, memperkuat integritas nasional. Yang ketiga, keseimbangan etika, logika, estetika, dan kinestik. Yang keempat, kesetaraan kesempatan. Yang kelima, zaman pengetahuan dan teknologi informasi. Yang keenam, pengembangan kecakapan hidup. Yang ketujuh, belajar sepanjang hayat. Yang delapan, berpusat pada anak dengan penilaian berkelanjutan dan komprehensif. Dan yang sembilan ialah pendekatan holistik dan kemitraan. 2006 curriculum KTSP. The latest curriculum is the 206 KTSP curriculum, which is a development of the 2304 KBK curriculum. Curriculum 2006 KTSP. Kurikulum terbaru adalah kurikulum KTSP 2006 yang merupakan pengembangan dari kurikulum KBK 2004. Kurikulum 2013 and its revision. The new curriculum fulfills three main components of education, namely knowledge, skill, and good attitude. Third, the 2013 curriculum is designed to be sustainable between existing competencies in elementary, junior high, and high school. Kurikulum 2013 dan revisinya ialah kurikulum baru yang memenuhi tiga komponen utama pendidikan, yaitu pengetahuan, keterampilan, dan sikap yang baik. Ketiga kurikulum 2013 ini dirancang agar berkelanjutan antara kompetensi yang ada di SD, SMP, dan SMA. Kurikulum during pandemic, new normal period, emergency curriculum, and temporary. The main principle of education policy during the COVID-19 pandemic are: 1. The health and safety of students, educator, education staff, families, and the community is a top priority in setting learning places. 2. Growth and development of students and social condition are also a consideration in development of education service during the COVID-19 pandemic. Maksudnya ialah kurikulum selama masa pandemi atau new normal, kurikulum darurat atau sementara. Prinsip utama kebijakan pendidikan di masa pandemi COVID-19 adalah: yang pertama, kesehatan dan keselamatan peserta didik pendidik, tenaga kependidikan, keluarga, dan masyarakat menjadi prioritas utama dalam menetapkan kebijakan pembelajaran. Yang kedua, pertumbuhan dan perkembangan peserta didik dan kondisi psikosional dalam menjadi pertimbangan dalam pemenuhan pelayanan pendidikan di masa pandemi COVID-19. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So many presentation from us. Hopefully all of you can understand our material. I ask moderator if there are wrong word. Please forgive me. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.